Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. The market held 435. I was saying that level needed to hold, and I was bullish. We hit 435 on the dot. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at what the next steps are for the market. We're going to take a look at the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Russell, the dollar, and the bonds. We're going to put it all together. We're going to take the next best decision in the market. So far, we've been doing pretty well with all of our day-to-day moves. Going to continue to do so. So in today's video, we'll take a look at just that. All right. Without further ado, let's get started with the video. So first and foremost, I really like to look at the seasonality chart for the S&P 500. So what you see here is this chart of the SPX for the past 20 years. And on average, for the month of August, since we're entering the last week of August, for the month of August, towards the very end, there generally seems to be a bit of a spike. So we'll see how that turns out. And for disclosure, we're holding on to longs over the weekend. I think there were 445 calls for September 29th on the SPY. So we're going to see how that plays out heading into Monday. So in general, according to bullish. All right. And there are a few other reasons why I think that this move can be a bit bullish over the weekend. So first and foremost, obviously, seasonality shows a good push at the end of the week. All right. Next, obviously, like the bread and butter is that 435 hold on the SPY. So we see that the low of this candle was 435 on the dot. You can low here. 435 was the low of the SPY on the dot. Worked out perfect. And what we ended up doing was wicked below prior levels of support. So this is one of the crux of this video, is that we swept the lows. So sweeping the lows is a term where market makers or price action basically see that let me explain. So basically today, Friday, right? We fell below prior levels of support. The main level of support were these lows here from Thursday, Tuesday, and Monday. Monday being the lowest, right? So 435.32 was a major level of support on Monday. We held that level, okay? So this was the low, all right? So we held that level and et cetera. We came back, retested a bit closer on Thursday. We came back just a little bit more, and then it ended up bouncing off of that level on Thursday. And then Friday, we swept the low, meaning we broke below those lows for those days, and then we bounced. So sweeping the low is a term used when stop losses essentially get stopped out with a reversal to the upside. So we are currently seeing the first remnants of a reversal to the upside. And for that reason, not only on the SPY, it's much more prevalent also on the Dow as well. So we also swept the low on the DJI, right? So we swept the low. We made a new low on Friday than we were prior, and then we bounced and made a green candle. That is generally a very strong move. Okay, so on the IWM, it's not as prevalent, but we can see on the IWM as well that we made new lows. We made a new low today on Friday, and we bounced. It was not green, but regardless, we swept the lows and we bounced very dramatically to the upside. So you can see on the NASDAQ, it's not as prevalent as it is on the SPY or the DJI. But on the NASDAQ, it's better than the IWM because it closed green. So regardless, you can see that the NASDAQ, the low from Friday was 358.58. The low from Monday was 359. So fell lower on the NASDAQ as well. Overall, this is the first signs of a potential bounce. And it isn't a guarantee, right? But once again, the crux of this video was showing that we swept the lows and we made a first green candle. Generally, that is a very, very bullish move. Generally, when that happens in the crypto market, there's a continuation to the upside. Also, generally, when this happens in the stock market, it's also especially on the 1 minute time frame. When this happens on the 1 minute time frame, we sweep the lows and we make a green candle. Almost always, I always go long, and the on a 1 minute candle is different, but I would always go long as I see that it's about to be green, and then I would have a stop loss down here. So still, regardless, 435 is going to continue being a very, very major level of. So the upside, I see 441 to 442 on the SPY being a very major level of resistance. If we break above that, then the only major level of resistance, the upside, after obviously 444, 445, it's going to be the 447 area. Breaking above that, essentially breaking above 447 to 448, I don't really know if that's going to happen. That is going to be very, very strong. It's going to be a very strong move. We're going to have to look at a few different indicators. We're going to have to see if we have enough strength to break above those levels, but I would be very shocked to see us comfortably break above 447, 448 sometime. We're long. August shows strong. The end of August shows strong seasonality to a bullish move, but we're taking it one step at a time. Currently long because we simply closed above the major level of support. We swept the lows, and seeing if we get a retest to 441, 442. From there, we're gonna take what the next step is. The best scenario, but yeah, I think we're on a good side. Another major level that you guys need to take into consideration on the SPY is if we break below 435, we can very, very quickly see 430, and then from there, basically, major level here at 421, and that's what currently the market, the momentum and everything is pointed towards, and that's basically the momentum is very, very weak, right? And because the momentum is very weak, that's why I don't think that we'll see a break above 447. And that's another reason why 444 is a major level of resistance as well. I don't think that we'll see a break above 447, 448, but I think if we can get a retest of these highs here, we might be able to get into some longer term puts for November or a move down. But we're taking it one step at a time. Right now, on paper, things look very bullish. But regardless, overall, I don't see us breaking above 447, 448, and 421 should be on the table maybe in a month or two. And once that happens, it would be very wise, in my opinion, to start being a buyer down here around 415, 420. That'd be good. So yeah, that's my thought process on basically what the price action is showing on the indices. And I explained through what I see on the SPY, the NASDAQ, the IWM, and Dow. The only other thing that we need to take a look at are the dollar and the bond. So the dollar is showing a topping formation, not really showing it's not showing like an extreme amount of strength in terms of the candles, but this MACD is showing a lot of strength still. So we made another high on the dollar, but according to the MACD indicator, we still have not crossed above. So we still have not made a bullish cross on the dollar here, but the dollar is making new highs. So this is this is pretty abnormal strength on the dollar. Like this, basically the dollar is showing, the dollar and the overall market, it's the bearish momentum on the market right now, especially the bullish momentum on the dollar, what this is showing is, imagine a dam that has like so much water behind the door, and you just let the door open. The dam will start to just spit out water. And that is currently what I feel with the dollar, and that's what I currently feel with the bearishness of the market. They are trying their best to hold back the bearish momentum. But right now, according to the dollar strength, this can easily be a huge green candle right to the upside, cause the market to fall, and just it's showing a lot of strength. The overall market as well, it's showing a lot of weakness. And this can not as easily because the price action is a bit more bullish, but this is also showing a lot of weakness. I do that. It's showing a lot of weakness, okay? Like, this is showing some gap down. Just the overall momentum of the market is showing a lot of weakness. Yeah, we're going to scalp it, and we're going to trade it one day at a time. But regardless, can't just marry a short, can't just marry a long, right? I really do think that once we get close to 444, 447 on the SPY, that's going to be a very major level of resistance. We're not going to be able to cross above that. But we do need to take into consideration that for this MACD to start moving upwards on the SPY, this slower acting yellow MACD or orange MACD line, the SPY is doing what it needs to. For the NASDAQ as well, it's doing what it needs to do. If bulls want to see this slower acting MACD line to start curling upwards, right? Because that would indicate bullish momentum. See the slower MACD line curl upwards, you need to see this blue MACD line be very overbought for an extended period of time, enough to pull the slow MACD line up. All right, so I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. So now the next thing that we should take a look at are the bonds. All right, now the bonds, once again, this is the first move to the upside from a very strong move to the downside, right? And we know that when this happens, after a large bearish move, you don't want to go short on the first initial pop to the upside. So the bonds are important to look at because the bonds have a more correlated relationship to the market. If the bonds are showing strength, then the overall market should also be showing some strength if the bonds can break above major level. So right now on the bonds, I would not be short. This is a buying opportunity on the bonds and for another leg up, in my opinion. And if the bonds do this, then there should be a good chance that the overall market gets another move to the upside as well. But this week is going to be very important because the overall momentum of the equities is very bearish. But damn, price action is showing signs of bullishness, and then the overall momentum of the dollar is very strong. So another bearish indicator. So once again, then we just basically have to play some mental gymnastics. They want to make it seem as bullish as possible before they let the floodgates open. And that's what I personally think. They want to make as many bulls stand in front of the door, knock on the door. Once there's enough people standing in front of the door, knocking on the door, that's when they're going to open it and just drown all of the bulls and drop it. It doesn't look bullish enough. Hopefully Monday we get another move to the upside. Things do in terms of price action, 430. So in terms of price action, okay, so say for example we're wrong about the move on the SPY. All right, what this needs to hold is it needs to hold 437. 436.50, 437 is a very major level of support for it to continue to move to the upside. If we end up breaking and closing, if on Monday we end up closing below 436.50, then it's going to be really tough for bulls to hold us up, and it's going to be really, really difficult for us to hold an overnight position. Because if we close below 436.50, that is basically a setup where they could gap that up randomly, arbitrarily to like 438 for absolutely no reason. And then it just becomes a bit dicey because obviously closing below 436.50 would be very, very bearish. It would cause a lot of people to swing short. But then they could easily rip it right back up, open it at 438, and then continue to be bullish all day. And that would just cause some issues in the market. And then from there, honestly, it would be tough for people to chase. And then that would be the best opportunity for people to, for them to rip it up, actually. That'd be the best opportunity for them to rip it up. Because then the people that were too worrisome of chasing down here, they would buy up here. And then they would, honestly, that actually could be the case. Monday we could, wow, that actually is something that usually ends up, I mean, because that would be pretty interesting if they end up doing that. We'll have to take it one step at a time, one day at a time, keep playing these hypotheticals. But the main idea is that they want as many people bullish as possible before they make the move. So before they make the move down. So regardless, if the market momentum is bearish, right? It currently is. They want to make as many people bullish as possible before they drop. And saw the first steps of that Thursday, gapped up. And yeah, after Nvidia news. So yeah, we'll take it one step at a time. Things look pretty good. Yeah, overall, things are pretty good. Hooked up the mic. I hope it's out. I hope all the audio came out well. But yeah, that's my thought process on the overall market. Week should be bullish. We're holding on to, I don't know if the whole week is going to be bullish, but we're holding on to calls expiring September 29th. Yeah, that plays. All right, so I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of Sunday. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Once again, thank you guys for all the comments, for all the love and support. I really, really appreciate it. I read all your comments, and yeah, it means the world to me. And I really, really appreciate all you guys. One step at a time, and yeah, looking good. All right, so let's now the everything. All right. With that being said, have a good one. Take care. See you guys tomorrow.